Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of the 50/50. I am joined here with my host, Bop and Money, as well as our special guest right below me. There he is, Dizz. Raul, how are you doing today?
Hey, beautiful day here in Austin. It's like 100 degrees. I already got my workout in, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of relaxing and I'm ready to talk about you guys got a lot of interesting little spicy topics for
Mm-hmm.
me today. So,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Money, Bop,
Oh,
how you two feeling too?
I'm feeling pretty good. A little bit sleepy, but I'm gonna wake up pretty soon. I'm gonna wake up pretty quickly, so I'm looking forward to it. Bob, what about you, bro?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We got a lot of cool topics today. Talking about Worlds, talking about Gamers8, talking about Faze, of course. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be fun. Gonna be interesting.
Speaking of Faze, I think it's time to address the elephant in the room right away. Let's talk about him right away. The man below me wrote this. Why don't you go ahead and give us a recap? Actually, just give us a full recap, real quick, real quick summary here.
A recap of what? What do you want to hear?
You know, the whole drama, the whole little coaching of Faze, the whole what all happened. Just give us a little summary.
All right, so TLDR, I was coaching Faze for a year. Had a lot of ups and downs, and towards the later half of it, both sides did negative things. Their side was primarily not putting too much effort into the game, and in return, my side was I stopped giving as much effort as I should have. Both sides were wrong, and come Worlds, I got dropped, and then they went out 0-2, and they only won 2 games. So I don't know. I think it's just phases. It was a complete fall off. Like they're falling apart as a roster, complete roster.
Indeed, indeed, and I would say it was quite an interesting event on Twitter, at least for sure, and in your streams throughout the watch parties. You know, we all had to tune in for that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was most definitely interesting. Now, I want to segue away from the bit of the drama more so and talk about Faze at Worlds themselves. How exactly, Money? You can go on this one. How exactly do you think Faze did at Worlds? Was that loss expected after what you all saw, or was it more so? Eh.
Honestly, low-key, I expected a bounce back from FaZe after not seeing them at the Spring Major. I thought that they would bounce back against SSG. I actually didn't. I didn't expect SSG to win it at first, but after game, I think it was game 2 or game 3, it was like, yo, this is actually just. It's just a team against 3 individuals, and you could really see that on the pitch, dude. Low-key, Raul, I got a question for you right off the bat, though. So, do you think that you had any impact on that, like from some of the drama that happened before? Do you think that weighed in on how they performed?
I personally, I think that the drama impacted two specific players, which is FK and Miz, because they were too hyper focused on it, and they didn't focus on like maybe just staying off of social media, which is what they should have did, and look to prove me wrong. Technically, like I think they tried to put in a lot of hours for the tournament, just way too late. Both of them, their hours shot up in a couple of days, but you can't like it's like studying for a test. You can't study the night before
Right.
and expect to ace it. And I think that's exactly what they did. And by then, it's just a little too late to practice as hard as you possibly can for a world championship, like
Mhm.
3-4 days out from the actual event. So I think the drama impacted them mentally, but I'm not sure. I don't think without the drama they would have put in that many hours either way, and
Okay.
I don't know if they are gonna make it that far. I didn't believe they would make it that far regardless of the drama or not.
Mhm.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah,
did you
that's fair.
expect them to go 0-2 still after
I,
all that?
I didn't expect them to go into. I did
Okay.
not expect them to go 0-2. I didn't expect them to only win 2 games out of I think 10 total games they played. They went 2-8. Yeah, I didn't expect them to go 0-2 at all. I thought they would like at least win a series or two, maybe two, and then lose out. But yeah, 0-2 is kind of crazy. I can't
Right.
lie.
Yeah, that team has way too much talent just for that, I feel
Yeah.
like. Bob, what do you think?
It was surprising. It was surprising. I made a tweet like the night before that they played their first match. I was like, I felt like the hate was gonna make them go crazy online. I thought they would like have some sort of pop off, do something wild, and then they were
Motivation.
just so flat. Yeah, they were just so flat. Like individually, like miss. Like I didn't really see anything out of him. Typical was like decent. FK was decent, but like it didn't feel like a team at all. It felt like a Solar Standard team from like 2019. It's just like I didn't see anything out of them. I guess like Raul like. What do you see for like the future of like these three individuals then? Like you got Miss Typical. Like, do you think they're gonna get picked up by like top teams still? You think people are still gonna take a chance on them or not? What do you think?
I think all three of those players are they're too individually talented to not have a chance taken on them. I think maybe bringing to light maybe the mental side of the game, which I think is extremely important, and a lot of top tier players and teams should take that very much into consideration. I mean, I said it in my video. I didn't want to pick up Miss because he was a previous teammate of mine, and I
Right.
knew how he was and how he like how he acted pretty much, and his mentality towards the game is it's decent like in tournament, but throughout like scrims and like the preparation is the hardest part. They don't take it serious and things of that nature. So yeah, I knew that going in and picking up Miss. I mean, I didn't have a choice in that say, but I do think they're extremely individually talented players, all three of them in their own respective right. So I could see them getting picked up. I'm not sure how those teams will perform, but I think a team maybe like 8 through 16
Mm-hmm.
just picks them up because they're that good.
Hmm.
Right. Just the talent is there. That's understandable. Do you think this is kind of on par with the topic actually? I would say I heard a lot of chatter out there about you in the waves or about people saying how you reacted on your stream to them losing or whatever was immature whatever blah blah blah. Probably wouldn't get picked up by a top team. That's something else I heard. What do you think about that? Because personally, I don't
Uh,
agree with that. I think you're too talented of a coach to
I
just
mean,
not get. Go ahead.
yeah, whether or not I don't get picked up by another org, I really don't. I don't know if I want to even pursue coaching for another organization long term. I
Okay.
think there's a lot of stress that goes with it that people don't really realize, and a lot of your job is not. It's really not. You don't have complete control over the say in this esport specifically because the players kind of control the roster moves.
Right.
Majority of the players control the roster moves, and so as a coach, you really have no say. Which is okay. Like the players, I think it's okay for now since but it's a little weird. It's in a weird spot because like there's three players, and then like typically there's favoritism, and then there's
Yeah.
like either one player is not performing and the other two are like, all right, then we need to make a move, and then the coach may or may not have a say. Maybe the coach is too afraid to have a say, and he's just like, all right, let me just go with the best player on the team and not try to, I
Yeah.
think coaches are afraid to go against the grain, and
Hmm.
so they just like go along, and that's a big problem. But I don't really. All the people talking about how I won't get another job or whatever, it's too immature. I don't care.
Right.
I didn't need the job to begin with, and I
Yeah.
told my players that from the start I didn't need the Faze coaching job. I only wanted it because I was a competitive. I was trying to find my competitive itch, like something to relieve it,
Yeah.
and I thought Faze could win a world championship, which I still believe they could have, but yeah, that's the only reason I really joined Faze. It wasn't because like I needed the job. Like I didn't need the
That's
job.
understandable. Yeah. Yeah. That makes
Yep.
sense.
All right. Well, before we move on from the drama and stuff, I've got one more question here. So, obviously, from my point of view, you spoke fairly objectively about like the entire situation, even like just now how you were talking about it. You made some mistakes, the players made some mistakes, but I'm sure you saw the FK tweet. And for anyone that hasn't seen it,
Oh yeah.
like a week ago, or yeah, about a week ago, FK said, "I'm gonna give my side of the story after Gamers8. I've held up on doing so to try my best to focus on Worlds, but the hate was too much, and please stop just believing one side before listening to the other." So, what do you think FK is gonna say here?
I don't think he's gonna say anything that Mist hasn't already tweeted. I think it's public knowledge, and everything that Mist has said, I've admitted I've done. So
Right.
if FK comes out with something that is probably gonna mention how his pops is not involved or anything of that nature, which his pops is involved, and he's just trying to maybe cover face. But I think everything that Miss has said, I've admitted to. I had a stream after my video went out, and I admitted to all the wrong things I was doing as a coach. I think both sides are in the wrong, and if it comes out with something crazy, I'll either admit that I did it or not, like publicly. I don't have no shame in what I did. I'm open and honest about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can respect that too. Personally, I love people that are open and honest, especially when you're a larger creator in the scene. Which I mean, you're a creator. I would categorize you as that as of now. Now that you're not a coach anymore. But yeah, when you're a larger creator, having the platform and just being honest, I feel like it doesn't happen a ton, really. I feel like a lot of things are behind closed doors, and I like to see the honesty come out, no matter if people are hurt by it, offended by it, whatever. As long as it's out there, I like to see that. Now, unless Bop, do you have anything else for Raul?
Yeah, I got one more question. I think like you kind of touched on it a little bit already, but like, do you think that like First Killer is gonna be a world champion one day with like how he is, like mentality, everything? Like, do you think he could still be a world champion?
It's so tough because I like being on that team. First Killer, I know the kid wants to win, and he like his mentality around it is he really wants to win. Like his drive to win is there, and this is why I really didn't have too much to say about First Killer personally, but I think his father is a big influence. I think his father is a huge impact on how he plays and who he is, which is a positive and negative thing. I think it's a double-edged sword. I don't think First Killer would be the player that we know him to be, the talent that he is without his father either. But I think his father being in some of the decision making and maybe influencing his son a little too much on maybe it's not even like he's forcing FK to make decisions, but it's just what he's saying around FK or his teammates that is negatively impacting his team. And I think FK, I can see him being a world champ. I truly can.
Talent's there.
Just because of his talent.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to say, honestly. It's so hard to say.
Yeah, that's understandable. Do you think? I'm curious. Actually, adding on to that one other thing, and then we'll move along. But one other thing on that. Do you think it's good? Like, do you think him listening to his dad a little? Do you think that is a good thing to an extent, or do you think he should just kind of just blow it off and it's time to do his own thing, think for himself fully?
I think he's finally 18. I think he needs to.
That's why I mentioned that.
His pops needs to like let him go, spread his wings, don't have no more influence on it. I think his dad is very involved in what his son does, which is great. Like that's support from a parent in the esport. Like we love to see that parents supporting their kids. But he's now 18. Like let your son flock away and let him do his own thing. You don't have to pull up to no more lands. It's funny because the only land that Paulie Suzuki was not at was the land that we had a second place finish. His best performing land ever, which is it speaks volumes. I think every player was just way more comfortable without him there, and I mean, if that doesn't say too much, then or if that doesn't say enough, then I think he just needs to let his son flock away and let him. Don't influence nothing. Don't talk about any of the players on his team. Nothing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I agree indeed. I think it's time to shy away from Faze now and money. I know, you got a point about the Middle East. You're gonna ask us. Well, let me hear it.
All right, yeah, let's hop into talking about some of the World Championship. We're gonna talk through most of these teams and stuff. We're gonna start off with Rule 1. Rule 1, they kind of disappointed. And did you guys think that the Rule 1 playstyle change hurt them? Just the way that they were playing? What do you guys think about that?
You think there was a playstyle change? What
was.
playstyle change did you see?
I felt like watching them, at least it seemed like they were way more aggressive than they had been in the past, or maybe they just like weren't comfortable. Something was different though, because they were playing. They did not look the same as I felt like in spring. Did you? Did you think they looked the same?
No, I didn't think they looked really the same. but I don't think them playing defense would have led to a better result. I think maybe they would have escaped out some series, but I think defense does not win championships in Rocket League.
I agree with
I don't think defense wins championships in Rocket League. And I think I was watching back some of the series, and I think Mawson was extremely shaky. Like, there was so many mistakes from Mawson.
That's facts.
Mhm.
Yeah, at Spring, I feel like actually at Spring he might have been, at least in the very beginning. He almost looked like the best player on that team in certain moments. Maybe not certain series, but at certain moments he was very, very good. And I don't know. It just like you said, they just look shaky overall. Like they were missing things that they shouldn't be missing. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, it was kind of odd. Like, I felt like they didn't even play like that bad. It was just like certain moments they couldn't capitalize in certain situations, couldn't ice up, couldn't like finish those shots. And like, yeah, they just didn't get the result that they wanted. I do think it could have been interesting. Like, if they had to play in the wild card, I wonder if they would have had more momentum going into like the group
That's
stage.
also true, yeah.
But yeah, ultimately they look a little bit flat. They got like a win over like Twisted Minds, right? Game 7, but that was really it then.
Yeah.
I think there was a decent amount of teams that came out of wild card like super strong. I think wild card helped a decent amount of teams this Worlds.
Well, sticking with these MENA teams, the Falcons kind of popped off. How do you guys feel about the Falcons here, finishing top 8, losing the Vitality, giving them one of their giving Vitality one of their toughest matches that they've had on LAN? How do you guys feel about that?
It's fun to see the Falcons. Yeah, it's fun to see the Falcons come back after we were kind of question marking them, but they came back. Especially since Rule 1 took their spring major spot, but they actually come back. It's like they were in a little revenge arc. They're like, nah, the little brothers can't do this to us. Like it was like a slap in the face. Your little bro finally beat you, and you're like, all right, bro, like that's the last time you ever gonna do that to me. Like I'm not playing with that. So then they come to Worlds. Rule 1 goes out super early, and Falcons is like, yo, exactly. That's where you belong. That's where you belong, behind us. Like we are the front runners here. So it was great to see them come back. Yeah, and I almost thought Twisted Minds was gonna be the team that moved up, but after that reverse sweep, it was actually done. Twisted Minds was done for.
Man, that reverse sweep was painful. I was watching that. I was freaking out. I was like, "There's no way this is happening." It happened. But overall, Falcons, I thought they looked really good. In fact, honestly, it was probably the best showing, in my opinion, of a team that didn't get further than top 8, because their only losses, they were to the 2 teams that were in the grand final. Yeah, they lost to BDS and they lost to Vitality, which, I mean, what else do you want from them at that point? But yeah, no, I was impressed, and I'm very excited to see what they look like at Gamers8 as well. It seemed like they had a few overcommitting issues in the past, but I didn't see none of that here at Worlds. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they look like.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, College, especially like in the wild card, he was popping off, looks so good. TRK, group stage, main event, everything, like they all looked really good. Like Amma didn't even have a bad performance either. Like they all really look good. I think Gamers8, looking towards Gamers8, I think they're gonna do good there as well.
I think also I just want to highlight really quick as well. TRK, I think that might have been the best overall LAN TRK has ever played. I feel like sometimes he shies down, but I think that was more the TRK that we see online. And yeah, he was popping off, so that's all I want to say.
Yeah, I think he had one better performance when he made the grand finals.
I guess, okay. That's
besides that, I think he was back on form this time around. Yeah, I agree.
That was a while ago. My brain
that was a while ago. That's probably why you forgot a little bit.
Oh my. Yeah, Twisted Minds as well. I mean, I feel like we could talk about Twisted Minds a decent amount actually. I mean, me and Bop actually, Money, we told you on what was it? 2 weeks ago, we were like, this team, they're dangerous. They're a good team.
You guys
I think
did
they definitely showed it. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't make top 8, because I thought at times they had the chance to, but yeah, they couldn't pull it together. But I'm excited to see what honestly all these Middle East teams look like at Gamers8. Bro, what would you think of Twisted Minds overall?
I'm so mad about this team. Like I'm mad at this team that they got reverse swept by Falcons, because I think this was the best team in the wild card until that reverse sweep. That reverse sweep absolutely just killed their mentality. Like they look so strong. We got Samu. Bro, I thought Samu was the best player in the wild card until they got reverse sweeps, and then I was like, all right, bro, like what's happening to you guys? What's that? You can't bounce back. I understand, like you getting reverse sweep in a best of 7 is terrible. Like that's got to be utter humiliation, but you gotta be able to bounce back afterwards. And then I think they got swept right after that.
Yeah, by crew,
Yeah.
I think.
By crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can't happen.
Nah,
that can't happen.
Yeah, so it really shows that the mentality was definitely hit.
You know what's horrible
Really
about
sucked.
Twisted Minds as well? If I'm not mistaken, that's the 3rd reverse sweep this team has had this season. How does that happen 3 times?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
They've been reverse swept 3 times.
Yes, that was the 3rd
Yeah.
one. They had 2 in
That's
Middle
pretty
East.
recent,
I
too.
watched one of them. I remember one specifically was against Falcons. And then this one again against Falcons, and I want to say against Rule 1 the other one was, but yeah, that just can't happen 3 times. Like what? That's absurd.
It's almost like
one of them-
Complexity not being able to win Game 7.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Don't talk to me
God.
about complexity. don't talk to me about him. Oh my God, that team, bro.
Yeah, I was literally in a call with Jagentek, dude. Complexity was up 3-2. Dude, this guy wanted to bet me all the money in his bank
did,
account
I
that
did.
K-Pop was gonna win in 7, bro.
Bro,
Yo,
as a complexity fan, it happens every time. How do they stop doing it, please? Raise Bull, I know you're icy, but CRR and AJG, what? Come on, Game 7 ice. Where is it? It's not there. Oh my God, they tilt me, bro. They tilt me. I can't stand watching this team, but I love them. Man. You know what team, other than the Middle East though, that looked good? Well, good in context, I guess, because it's not good overall. But Elevate, a little bit of a feel-good story. Compared to any of these other teams, I would say this was a nice one. They got a win over 2 non-APAC or SSA teams. They got one over G1 and Pioneers. What do we think about Elevate? MoneyGo, let me hear you. What do you think?
dude, I was really impressed by Elevate, dude. I didn't even get to see a lot of their games, but like beating G1, beating Pioneers, winning games against teams that in regions that they haven't beaten before was just super impressive to see from them. And then on top of that, like usually like there would be a team like below them that would be a stronger team that like in the wild card just based on like how matchups work. But I think that Elevate is in a great spot here. Like they're higher than Gaming Gladiators, Valiant, Limitless, Oxygen Esports, Pioneers. I think Elevate actually beats all those teams, and then G1 as well. I think they would have beat G1 if they played G1 Power. I think they would have beat Power if they played them. That's what I meant to say.
I mean, they were taking it to secret as well, if I'm not mistaken. In what was it, the Series 5, the 5th series? So, yeah, I was impressed by him. I was impressed. Ro, what did you think of him?
I mean, there's one guy that was absolutely popping off, and it's good to see. It is a feel good story, but realize showing that there's levels and there's actual improvement happening over there in that region.
Yes.
There was a time where we were like, realize he's clearly the best player in APAC, but we just couldn't see the levels that he was showing now. Now he's dangerous. Now he looks like he can actually impact the field. He can score. He's hitting he's mechanically gifted. He always was mechanical in his own region, but to see it at an international level now is different. Like and this is why unpopular opinion, I don't mind imports happening in APAC because I do think it generally improves the region overall. Yes, some of the APAC players may not get notoriety maybe that they deserve or that they could get without these import players, but I do think it benefits the region overall. These players get better practice against players that are more experienced and know how to play the game, which will ultimately teach the entire region how to play the game at a better level. And we'll see more players improving over time. But just to know that they perform better in the wild card than Oxygen,
Yeah,
it's insane. It's insane in itself.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think it goes to show, touching lightly on the import players as well. I think it goes to show that if you have import players and they recognize there is talent in a player, they will pick up that player. Like everybody knows how good Realize is, especially now. But when they picked him up, he was good, but he wasn't like, oh my God, this guy's like great player, best performer on LAN from that region easily. I don't feel like you could have said that. Maybe you could have. I wouldn't have said it, but yeah, I think it's good. I agree with you. I think overall for the import regions, when you bring in the talent, if you're good enough, the talent will recognize the other talent in the region and therefore improve the region over time.
Okay. Do we think like should there be any rules on the import stuff though? Like I've seen a lot of debate. Like, do we think like there should be at least like one player from that region on the team, or like what do you think? Like,
Yeah,
should there
that's
be any
what I
rule?
definitely think there should
Yeah.
be one player,
Yeah,
at
at
least
least
one.
one.
Like you have to have at least one
that's
player
fair.
from that region on your team.
Mm.
But then it would be a double-edged sword with NA. But I think the argument for NA is that it's a huge double standard. But the argument for NA is that we're way more established than APAC is. But then again, it's like how can Psyonix just limit things to one region and not give it to the other? You know?
Yeah,
I think the rules could change if you eventually kind of can prove your worth as a region per se. If you start getting APAC teams that are placing, I don't know, say top 8, right? Then maybe the standard would change to make APAC more of a major region. But until something like that would happen, I feel like it would be, I think like you guys were saying, one player on each team at least from that region makes sense. But there's got to be like a cutoff almost to make the region a major region.
Yeah. I just wish it was like maybe like 2 teams under an org where they would like scrim. They get these chances to just scrim these top level teams, and then maybe I know Marky's a coach over there. He can like coach 2 separate teams under one organization and help players develop so that they're not lacking and they can actually grow talent way quicker. There has to be like some sort of solution to helping these players develop way quicker than they are.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was. Somebody tweeted it a while back. Was it Noxus? Maybe? I can't remember. Somebody tweeted it though. He was just talking about all the minor regions issues, and one of the biggest things that I've always seen that seems to be the biggest like limiting factor, even in almost OCE, is just the fact that they're so far away from all these other regions that they just can't play. Like I think that definitely adds to why MENA has gotten so good so quick, is because they can play EU, and then you have Sam who can obviously play NA.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it, is why they're so minor as well and can't improve as fast.
Yeah,
and that's true. That's true. That's true in a sense. I think maybe there's a thing that they do in other esports where they start boot camping in other regions to improve. Maybe we'll see some of that. Like APAC comes over and to EU, they take a little trip and then they start boot camping a little bit. Hey, orgs develop some APAC players.
Yeah. Could be interesting too, like if they were given like another major spot, like give like SSA a spot, give APAC maybe another spot, then like those teams would get more practice internationally, and like I think it could improve the regions as well.
At majors,
I think that's
you mean?
Yeah, majors. Like give APAC like one more spot maybe, give SSA like an actual spot, then they actually get to practice against like these top teams more often.
I always think exposure like that it's beneficial in a sense, but it's not extremely beneficial because then they just go back to their regions and they get reacclimated. It's kind of the notion of what happens to Gen G, right? Gen G, 2 EU players, they come to NA, they start dominating because they have the EU playstyle, but then over time they get acclimated to the NA playstyle and now they're just in the middle of the pack, like where people kind of expected them to be. They're like struggling to maintain top form because other teams are adapted to them and they're acclimating to NA playstyle. So it's kind of a hard conversation to have. Giving teams more spots, yes, they'll get exposure and yes, they'll have international practice for a short period of time, and then they'll go back to their region, and then they'll get reacclimated to how their region plays.
I mean, you just play your region's players. Obviously, it's not like you're gonna be able to play EU players once you go back, right? So there's just like nothing you can really do about that because that's just how it is when you play the game. You just readapt to the play style you're playing against all the time or scrimming against. But speaking of a minor region as well, let me tell you about another minor region. Bop, I know this was yours, but I'm stealing it from you because I mentioned OCE. So OCE. What do you guys think it's gonna take for OCE to be decent again? I wouldn't even say they're decent right now. I think it's like power, and then the rest are just questionable.
Man, and even like power is questionable right now because like they
Yeah.
kicked Amphis or something. Like I still don't understand that drama like fully. But like either they kicked Amphis or like Amphis is still on power and like the other two left or something. I don't even know. But like honestly, I don't really know what they could do. Like at this point, I feel like you gotta like consolidate the talent into like one team. Like get like Amphis, Fever, like Super Lucky on a team, something like that. I feel like that's like the only way to do it. Like I like Torsos, he's a good player, but like I feel like you need like three superstars on a team, like from a region like OCE to like actually have a chance at these majors and like big lands and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
Well,
the start.
I was gonna say
I don't
OCE
even-
is like OCE is tough. I think you might need somebody to go down to OCE. We see all these imports going everywhere else. I think OCE might need some of that
Yeah.
talent to go over there. Or they just send a talent over to NA or EU and have one of their players develop like they did with Drippe. Even though Drippe wasn't, I mean Drippe technically I guess he was like a success story in a way because
Somewhat.
he was performing well and he was like
He was good, yeah.
yeah he was good in North America, but the team really didn't perform when he came over. It's super tough because they do have like talent that can be developed. You see players with potential, Fever, Fever and like those players are actually good. Like they're decent. They're decent players.
Yeah.
So they definitely have talent, but I don't think they have the exposure, and obviously they can't play against other top talent. So it's the old saying where iron sharpens iron, and they can't really, they don't have too much iron over there, so it's kind of hard to develop them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm.
Dude,
What
so
do
what?
you
Wait,
think?
what's happening with power? So like, does Amphis is kicked or something? They're losing Amphis or
There's something I think like I saw like some tweet about like they might pick up like Banana Head in place of Amphis. They were trying him out. And then like Pioneers are trying out some other players as well. And then like there's a lot of like there's gonna be a big roster moves I think in OC.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
think it's time. They need to pick up this player. Power. They almost picked him up one time. I think it was last year. They almost got him. What does OCE need? What does Power need?
no.
They
Oh,
need
no.
Forky. It's
Oh,
time
God.
to
Oh,
bring
God.
Forky
Who let
to
this guy on, bro?
Australia. He's the most mechanical player ever, dude. Put him on the team.
Ever.
So
He's the
with
greatest player.
So with that said, Rolders, you want to replace Money as the full-time host on this show by chance? Because I don't know what I'm hearing. What is this man talking about? What is this guy saying, bro? Nah,
Dude, what
there's
is that
no way.
Uno reverse card? He's coming for my job. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually
exactly,
insane.
exactly.
The
Oh,
road is, I'm
that's
coming for
crazy.
your job. Money, you might want to stop with these things, bro.
Oh, that's wild. That's
Dude,
insane.
I don't know what OCE needs to do, bro. I don't know what they need to do. They're not good as a region, bro. Just kick them out of RLCS. What do they need? I don't know. I don't know what the solution
Kick
is.
them out.
I don't know.
That's a great solution.
Yeah.
Okay,
Get 'em outta here.
Realistically, though, I would say OCE, what they need to be decent. I partially agree with Raul. First of all, I think you gotta have an external team like an EU or an NA team and players. You gotta have them down there. I think because I think they're too far separated to ever improve to the standard that they need to be. Because they've been. I mean, it feels like they've been the same standard for what since was it season 3, 4? When the hell did they get in here?
Yup.
But yeah, they just been doing the same thing. They're just evened out throughout the entire time. The skill level has just been even somehow. But they do have the talent. That's the thing is I do feel like they do have the talent. Like even all the top, I'd say 4 teams maybe in that region all have decent enough talent. I mean, even on Him Police. They have like I'd say Finn. I don't know if you guys watch much OCE. I haven't watched a ton, but from what I've seen, this Finn guy he's pretty good actually. So yeah, I definitely agree though. They need something down there. They need to up their play level, something to.
I mean, honestly, look, it might have been a terrible take, but it might like low key. It kind of makes sense. Like set Forky down.
no.
Why not? Right? Why not?
Yeah,
Try
fair.
something else.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
gotta
Why
try it.
not?
you
I mean,
gotta
they
try
tried out Forky, as far as I know. They actually did. Like last
Wait,
season.
they tried him out?
I'm pretty sure they did try
They
him out,
did
and
do
then they
it, yeah.
didn't
He
want
was
him.
close. He was close.
They didn't
dude.
choose him then. Yeah.
They didn't choose him.
Should've
See, that's
sent
their
him to, like,
first
a top
mistake.
5
You gotta
team.
pick up Forky. See, now
Oh,
Forky is like he's extremely mechanical, but I still don't think he knows how to play at a high level.
Yeah.
Especially in 3v3.
Mhm.
I mean, if he got knowledge on the game, maybe it's not, or maybe it's him not like caring enough to want to really play at a top level. But I think if he put his mind to it, he could definitely play in OCE at a top level. Like, it doesn't really. I don't think it takes too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, what it might take is, Kami realize and and Vert going down there instead, hit a little Uno reverse card there. Right? Maybe they'll make them better because, somebody, I don't know, they're pretty on par, it seems. But, OC has to be figured out for OC because, I mean, we can throw out a million things, but they can't seem to figure it out themselves. So, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. Let's move away from these other regions though, and let's talk more just about Worlds yet again. Just a quick fire question, kinda. The top 8 teams that did make it out of groups. We talked about groups a little bit earlier, but not a ton. Quick fire. What surprised you guys the most out of the top, or the 8 teams that made it out of groups?
Ooh.
I think yeah, for me, I would say Gen G disappointed me a lot when they made it out. Like they look good against like G2. They look good against who they played, Twisted Minds, I think. They look really good, honestly. And then they just played KC and it was nothing there.
Oh
There
my
was
God.
absolutely nothing there.
Yeah, dude, that was the worst series, bro. I was so devastated, man.
Bro, I was in
Casey
the call
was
with
popping
Money.
off.
This man was he was down horrendous. He was silent.
Bro. Casey was absolutely dominating, and Gen G was falling apart. Like it was the worst combination to ever happen. Vatir was peeking off the corner. Like it was greatness from Carmine Corp.
Mm.
I think for me.
No,
Go
go
ahead, Money. Go ahead.
The biggest surprise for me, looking at this top 8, I wouldn't have had Falcons top 8 coming into the event. Definitely after I saw how they performed in Wildcard, yes, I could have seen them making top 8 for sure. But before the tournament, I thought Real 1 would have been higher than so yeah, so I'm impressed from that.
That's fair.
I think for me, it probably has to be this G2 roster.
That's what I was.
G2 roster. I think the turnaround from them is actually crazy to see. I didn't know what to expect from G2. I think G2 was a big question mark since they didn't make the spring major. They were a big question mark. We had the whole storyline of rumors hearing about JNAP's retiring after this Worlds, and JNAP's even saying in an interview how he just needs one championship and then he's gonna like that. That seems like the perfect ending to his long career. So coming into this, I didn't really know what to expect from G2. I thought they were extremely flat, and then heading into wildcard, I saw a little bit of potential, but I didn't see them really. Like my expectations was was not top 8, and when they made it, I was like, oh okay. I mean, they look really good. They look solid. So yeah, it was surprising for me.
Yeah, I'll bounce off you on that one, actually. I agree with the G2, but I want to highlight Space Station, actually. I kind of felt the same. I thought they were good, but I didn't know if they were top 8 good. But that man, LJ, he's dangerous. And shout out Bates, by the way. Bates knew a long time ago. But yeah, LJ, that man is fantastic. He's great at the game, and he's only getting better. And I heard Hawkster, apparently he's going to grind ones this offseason as well. That could be a dangerous team if they all stick. Arsenal. And yeah, I'm excited to see what SSG do, but I just had to highlight them as well, along with G2, because the grind and the improvement has been very, very inspirational.
It's a great shout. Great shout. Big cock.
It's
a great
Bro.
My guy right there, my guy.
Dude, that tweet was wild, man.
It was, bro, that was nuts.
I like how he's embracing it.
It's so good.
That's like the
Yeah,
funniest
amazing.
part about it.
Facts.
It's hilarious. Money, what'd you think? Did you say? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I said Falcons.
Okay, Bop.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for me, Gen G, just like I thought they'll be better, but
Yeah, interesting. Alrighty, moving to. Oh god, do I even want to look at this top 4? EU, they all got to the top 4. Do we want to even talk about this? Yeah, we'll talk about this. Will this finally be NA's wake-up call? Will it be the world's wake-up call? What's going on? Talk to me.
Bro, after the spring major, when 3 of the 4 top teams were from Europe, dude, and we didn't even have an NA team. It was Rule 1 as the 4th team. I thought someone was gonna bounce back. I didn't know who. I didn't know who it was. Looking at the top 8 when the quarterfinals were going on, I thought it was gonna be SSG taking down Liquid, but the NA is just in shambles right now. That's all I gotta say, bro. I don't have any suggestions. I don't know what to say. It's just NA's down bad right now. How do you guys feel?
I
Go
think
for
we
it.
need a definitely like I'm not a huge advocate for roster changes, but I think NA definitely needs something, and they need some star power combined together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to see like 3 superstars on a team because I don't think that combination ever works. But I think somebody who can be maybe like an unsung hero. I need 2 superstars with a Redocin. Like
Yeah.
that's what I need. I need like Redocin's a superstar in his own right, but he's never looked at as a top player. He's always overshadowed, but he controls the midfield so well. I just don't know if NA's playstyle is. I think NA's playstyle is never right. Like it just doesn't work against EU because EU is they're always on the ball. They don't allow space. They don't play selfishly, and I think it's just it's a whole mindset thing behind NA and EU. They're like a team ball, and NA is individual ball.
What's gonna
It's a
change
huge
that?
mindset thing.
What's gonna change
What happened?
that? What's gonna change that? Tell us. Talk to us. Be the wisdom.
What's gonna change that?
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw it happening with Faze. We
Yeah.
saw it happen with Faze when Gen G came over. They started slapping us, and then Faze had the best performance that we had because we realized that it had to be team ball. So I think players, if the top talent in NA can realize that they just need to work together because it's a team game and not an individual game, not playing as a 6-man's pickup team where one guy goes for the ball and then the other guy goes for the ball and then the third guy goes for the ball and then you're going in a rotation over and over again and people are actually willing to take 50s and play ugly ball and just challenge when they need to challenge, forcing the ball for your teammate. I think that's what needs to, it's just a whole play style difference that needs to happen in NA. And
Yep.
I don't know if we're gonna see that,
It's
but
not gonna happen.
I don't know if we're gonna see that.
You said earlier as well. You said we need two superstars, and you need that Redocin. Make me a team quick. What do you got? Give me 3.
Let's go. Let's go. FK, Beast Mode,
Not dead.
and a Reddles.
Okay. I like that.
Battles,
It's a good shout.
Okay.
That's
Rounding
good.
it
I
out.
That'd be
could-
interesting. Would FK and Reddles work together? Like not like on the pitch. I mean, like off the pitch. Would they even like?
I think
each other?
Reddles is a strong enough voice
like
that
he's a leader.
FK is gonna see. The thing that people don't understand is FK might be a leader in roster moves, decision making, but he's not a leader in like the team chat. Like he doesn't speak out loud and like direct traffic and things. I think Reddles is a extremely strong leader. We there's video evidence and
Saw that in
we've
the
seen their
reverse
comms,
stream.
we've heard their comms. Like Reddles is a strong voice.
Yeah.
One of the best IGLs in North America, if not the best IGL in North America. There's a big reason why Optics made their turnaround. So shout out to him. And I think that direction with 2 superstar talents like FK and Beast Mode, I think Reddles can lead that. But it's gonna be it's a weird dynamic because you don't want the 2 top talents. If like Reddles is making mistakes, then they're gonna just point the blame on him. It's just like that's the thing about Redocin is like he does when he makes a mistake, it seems like Vitality's just like yo, like because we see Redocin own goal and then immediately bounce
They're
back.
friends,
It's just
it feels like as well, right? Like it's
yeah,
they're just-
exactly.
it's the vibes, really. Like if you're not
Exactly.
just fully friends, you're obviously gonna look towards the person that's less in your friend group. If you're the better player, or you feel you are, obviously, right? Speaking of
That's a
rosters,
good point.
Money. You
Wait, hold on. Before we move on, hold on.
Okay.
I'd one more question about the superstar or the super team. So you said that 3 superstars wouldn't work, and like it makes sense why it wouldn't work. But have we seen that? Have we seen a three superstar team? Have we seen like has it been tested?
I think the last 2 iterations of Faze were like 3
I'd
superstars.
say it is.
Yeah.
And you got FK Sip and Mist, FK Sip and AJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like respectfully, I think all 3 of them were superstars. Like when they were initiated, we saw FaZe get picked up. We were like, "Yo, that team is gonna win everything," and then they didn't win too much. But I mean, I just don't think 3 superstars ever works. There's another. The rumor is, V1. V1's gonna be superstars. I mean, NRG was
heard that.
technically 3 superstars, but they worked for a little bit and then it fell off. I think that's always what happens. It's like they're gonna have a honeymoon phase and then they're gonna drop off because somebody's going to take a hit inevitably and their mentality is gonna get shot. Like that's why it's a problem. Is the superstar, you're used to being the best on the team, you're used to being that guy, and then someone inevitably takes a hit, and when he does take that hit, it's hard on his mental and he can't recover.
Yeah, I think the thing with that NRG roster too is, like we were talking about, they were all pretty good friends, right? And I think that is why at one point it did work pretty well. And I mean, they stuck for so long, even when people were calling for a change, is because of the friendship, right? And I feel like even though people, you know, they call friendship rigid, blah blah blah, but friendship, it really almost is needed to have a team work at some point, especially once you get the best players on those teams, because otherwise it's gonna be, well, kind of like the FaZe scenario. I guess it's just blowing up because they're not crazy tight. I obviously don't know, but it didn't seem like it, at least. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, speaking of teams that are sticking together versus not sticking together, NRG, etc. We're going into a huge off season here. We've got some teams that looked really solid, especially in the top 8. G2 Space Station are the main 2 here. Do you guys think that they're gonna stay together, or are they gonna potentially look to upgrade some moves?
Man, if I had to say first, I mean, I feel like there's a chance with how long like the offseason probably gonna be. There's a chance that like Vitality might be the only team that sticks together. Like I could see like a world where literally every other team in the world makes a roster move.
I could even see
That would
Vitality
sing.
make it.
Make a roster move?
Vitality roster
Vitality?
move?
I could-
No
yeah.
shots.
I definitely could.
No
What,
shots.
you're telling me they could get rid of Radosin for like a Vatira? I feel like you definitely could.
That's
see
the
that
only
happen.
one. That's the only one.
Oh,
Even
That's
that
then,
would
I feel
ruin
like
that
Bro
team.
said that's 3
Think
superstars.
so?
I don't think it'll
I
work.
don't know.
That would
It's
ruin the
Vatira
team.
though, man, and they got the
I
friendship.
don't.
think Vatira
I,
can
all
sacrifice.
of
I hate these. I hate
I don't
these.
know, man.
No, Vatira can sacrifice though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. That's why I feel like that's
he
the
can turn
one.
into a role player.
Like, I don't think Monkey Moon on that team. If you replace Radosin with like a Monkey Moon, I don't think that shit works. But I think Vatira would be like the one that I
I think
could
Monkey
see.
Moon works too. Yeah, I think that works too. Maybe I'm too optimistic. I think it all works, bro. I think.
I think
But-
they need Radosin. Like
You think so?
Radosin's
Yeah.
such a huge impact.
Okay.
This is the same conversation with like Turbo, but Turbo's
Yeah,
the only
yes.
player to do it in EU and NA. Like
True.
people don't like. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, no.
even Radosin even has mechanics, but like
That is.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand why. Because I don't understand why people would immediately go to Radosin to take out of the equation. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
absolutely.
we see mechanical, we see flashiness with
Yeah.
Zen and Alpha, so why not take out Radosin for a better mechanical flashy player? But Radosin, he has mechanics as well. Like
Right,
he just pulls out some stupid off the ceiling thing, and then like no one expects it. I think that like no
Yo,
one
literally
expects
game
Radosin
one.
to hit something, and then he hits something, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot he can do that too.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess this guy's pretty good.
Yeah,
No,
that set the
honestly-
tone. Game 1 versus K Corp in in the semifinals. Bro literally pulls up a flip reset pass out of nowhere, gives them an easy goal, and then just 1-0 victory. Game 1. It's kept the momentum going from there.
Yeah. The main
yeah,
reason
there's so many series. Go ahead.
Okay, the main reason I said Vatira specifically and not anyone else, not even honestly because of Vatira's talent, mostly because I mean I don't think it's really disputed. Vatira's probably top 5 in the world at all times in the past 7-8 months at least, if not longer. And it seems, I mean, you saw Zen and Vatira at LAN. It's pretty clear how close those two are. So that's just why I said Vatira. I don't think anyone else would. I wouldn't replace him, or I wouldn't replace him with anyone else.
Yeah, no, it makes sense that they would be that close friends though. Like they're
Yeah.
clearly, I think they were like coming up together. They played a lot together. I think they were teaming before Zen got banned, and then
Yeah.
Vatira was like teaming with them when they were like before he made RLCS. So it like that there was talent and they knew each other. They were
Right.
coming up, and now they're both at the top. But I think there's a clear Zen's always gotta add his numbers. So maybe this was always like a thing where Vatira's like, all right, if I can't beat him, I join him. You know, maybe in the future we join together.
Little KD action. Oh god. Okay, on that on the roster topic, actually, we'll talk a little bit more about this because I don't think we actually answered the question, did we? We just started yapping. We're good at that. But yeah, so the actual question was, what rosters do we expect to stay overall? I guess, right? So what do you guys think? Just I guess you could say in the world, not even NA.
Yeah, low-key, Bop's kind of converted me, dudes. Like, it's a long off season. It might just be Vitality sticking together. Like, I'm thinking of some of these other teams. Rise is probably leaving BDS. K-Corp, I have no idea. I don't know.
K-Corp's interesting. Like, they could stick. I could see them stick, but I could also see them make a move if they, like, get the right opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why K Corp shouldn't stick. Maybe a change for who? Who would they change out?
I can't pick, dude. I
The
cannot.
Toxic
I think they all
and
bring.
Sonic are too even. I feel like at certain times.
I think they bring individually different things to the table as well, and I don't know who would be more valuable.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's trying to catch up to Vitality. It's like just a clear difference between Vitality and the rest of the world. So,
Yeah.
It's a trick.
like that's the only reason why teams would make a move. I think I could see SSG sticking. I could see.
I think G2 is another shout now. I could see that as well.
See, the thing about G2 is I could see Atomic leaving.
Really?
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see Atomic leaving.
Even if Chicago's grinding ones?
Chicago grinding. We got to see how long Chicago grinds.
That shit ain't happening. Let's be real. That
He
shit
might
ain't
only grind
happening.
one for like 2 days.
That's not happening, bro. There's no way.
But yeah, complexity. Maybe. See, complexity is a weird situation because they're like Astra. We had top 25, and Astra was making good points. Like complexity only lost to top teams, but they can't get over that game 7. So it's like how much impact is constantly losing game 7s on their mental? Do they look to make a change? Probably.
The question is like for complexity, who do you really pick up? Like, what would you bring over like a KV1, and then who do you get rid of? Like, is it AJG? Because I feel like AJG, like, I feel like you just can't really get rid of him because he's kind of that rock on that team now. I don't know.
Would they want to keep Spanish comms though? If they keep Spanish comms, they can only pick up like a select few players, like Atomic or someone. If they got like an Atomic, that could be interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
You get up
Atomic.
Who would you replace though?
They could get an FK.
Oh, does FK speak Spanish? Yeah.
Yeah, Cuban.
Justin does too, right? I've always looked at Justin for these moves because I'm pretty sure he does as well, right?
Is he fluent?
I think so.
I don't even know.
I'm not gonna put words into my. I'm not gonna say that, but I think he does. I think so. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know who you'd replace. They're a tricky one, but I would agree. I think it's like the most likely to stick probably are SSG and Complexity. I would say G2 I'd throw in there too, but you guys don't agree.
It's a weird situation because you have a choice to make the roster maybe improve on paper, but they're so close to beating the top teams in EU every single time. Like, do you really want to take a chance on making that move? It's kind of tough.
I think Cole. This is my Complexity bias aside. Even I think Cole specifically might be the best team against EU from NA, and I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take actually.
Yeah.
Like they can play any one of those teams close. They might not win this series, but they're gonna give them hell until they lose the series in 7 or 5. But I don't know. If they do not stick, I would be shocked. because like you're just too close. Like you got to be able to just get over that ice hump pretty much, and you're
Mm-hmm.
there.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. If in a
Fair.
world where like Genji, G2, and like SSG make moves, I would kind of like. I don't know if this would work or not, but like a team like LJ, Atomic, Chronic, I feel like all of them are players that like are not like an FK or like a beast mode where like they're like always like on the ball necessarily. But I feel like they would mesh well and they're all like mechanically skilled. I feel like that could be like a good NA super team if there was a super team created.
Yeah, I could
What do
see
you guys
that
think?
possibly.
I have my doubts on Chronic.
I do too.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
just don't. I don't see. Like I see him. Like he's solid, but I think he's a lot more inconsistent than being like a. He's not. I don't see him as a superstar.
Mhm.
Like I see him as more of a. Like maybe a star, maybe like.
Yeah.
I don't really see him as a superstar talent. Like I wouldn't build my roster around Chronic.
Yeah.
Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Would anyone on
Okay.
Genji? You think Jack is, or do you think none of them?
I think Jack is
Yeah,
100%.
I agree,
Like Jack
yeah.
is. He's built. It's funny to see Jack's like progression because back on Dignitas,
Yeah.
at LAN, I thought he was like the most nervous, shaky player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was playing with Jorius and SK, which is a long time ago, but I thought he was like extremely nervous. But he's grown into such a like really good force, especially offensively. This last Worlds, he's not. It's probably one of his worst performances, but I still
Yeah.
think he drives a lot for offense. For that Gen G squad, and
Yeah.
offense was kind of dedicated on Jack's performance.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm curious. Speaking
That's
on roster moves and Chronic, do you guys think Gen G has a chance of sticking, or are they blowing up? Is that done?
Is there a chance they go back? Like, is there a chance Jack and Nolly go back to England, we think? I think there's
Bro,
always a chance that happens.
Yeah, I have no idea. I feel like the NA paycheck's hitting differently though. I don't know.
True,
Maybe.
true.
But Jack said he moved over here like primarily for content. Like content was a big like focal point for why he moved over here. But he does say he hates it here, so he does not like
really?
NA.
Interesting.
Okay.
So maybe it's like it's like what do I care about more, the content side or the gameplay side? Do I just go back and I mean he's done well content wise. I think if he goes back, it's like there's not really something that's gonna impact him content wise. You could just go back and I guess he won't have the same set of players. But even then, I think EU players are becoming a lot more popular than North America right now.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
X.
Yeah.
True. I guess, bro, like one more question. Like, in a hypothetical world where Faze won Gamers8, is there any chance they stick together, you think?
No.
Or no?
No.
No.
No way.
No. Hypothetical world, they win. They're like, all right, good stuff, guys. All right, catch you next season on different teams. I don't know if we'll play you or not, but yeah, I don't think they're sticking. I think they're done.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Thanks for the paycheck. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that
that's a big paycheck if you win too.
Yeah.
How much is it per player? Is it 200K?
200K.
200.
Yeah,
I
right
think-
around
gosh.
something like that. Or I can look real quick. I'll tell you. So yeah,
Yeah,
first place is
something like
500K prize pool for first place overall.
Okay.
So split that in three.
Holy.
Alrighty though, my goodness, my. Hopefully we see some of these teams stick, cause I'd be interested to see some of these topper teams stick and see how they fare against probably a full different pool of teams next season, really. But moving along from teams, switching up, let's talk more about Vitality. We haven't talked about them a ton, really. Vitality win again. And I'm curious. I think I put this tweet out. Where does Zen rank all time, or is it impossible to rank him already? I'm curious what you guys have to say about this, actually.
We actually said this. We were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
I think we had him like top 10. I think he's top 10 right now. It's hard because the impact, like people equate like impact into their ranking, but player performance wise, I think he's top 10. Like, you can like a rookie who comes in and just wins everything and worlds as well.
Pretty hard to argue,
it's so
right?
tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Bop money. What do you guys think about that one?
Yeah, for me, I got him just outside the top 10. Like, I'd probably put him top 15. I think like just give him a few more months. Like next season, by the end of next season, he might even just be like the GOAT. Like he might just like win
But
literally
next
everything next season.
season,
Who knows?
I mean,
If he wins like every
I get
event
it.
next
I get it.
season, I think he is probably like the GOAT. But like I'm seeing like Worlds, everything, right? But like right now, I think he's just outside my top 10. I would put players like, like Monkey Moon, Vatira, maybe even Alpha above him. So I think there's like a few players like it's close because like he's only been pro for like what, like 3 months. So it's
Yeah.
kind of tough. But he's definitely like really close to like top 10, if not already in the top 10.
Money.
Bro, this is a tough one for me personally because I've only been watching Rocket League since season 10, like consistently. So for me, bro, he's at least top 3, bro. He's insane. Like,
Okay, buddy.
I got
Alright.
Top 3.
Nah,
like, I'll
this
put
guy-
Turbo above him. He's won 4 world championships. K-Dop's won like 3. Dude, put Garrett G below him, bro. What has Garrett done? He's been to like every
Below him?
event.
That's
He's been to
crazy.
like every event, but he's only won 1 world championship. I don't know. Zen is up.
Zen already tied him.
Yeah.
I think Zen's better than him because he already tied him.
Yeah,
think-
I don't know.
I think overall I feel like it is impossible to rank because when you look at some of these players, like Garrett's been playing the game for what, 7, 8 years
Right.
at this point
Yeah,
at a
yeah,
high
yeah.
level, and he's been consistent at that level. Like he's always been a top player. Like how do you equate? Even though Zen has been dominant in 3 months or whatever, Garrett has been a top player at this game for 7 years. Like that's just
Yeah,
impossible to quantify really. If Zen keeps playing at this level and winning everything like Bop said, maybe next year, I don't know, maybe even another year. What is Money doing, by the way? Does
Maybe.
anyone know what this guy
I'm
said?
fighting a wasp.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh
Hold
my goodness. But yeah, no.
I stopped that
Overall,
boy out. Okay.
Got a wasp in your
that's
house.
crazy. Right, you see him
That's good.
smack the hell
Why
out
is
of the
he so
camera.
calm? Like, it's like this happens to him daily. He was just so calm that there was a wasp in his house.
A
There's no
wasp nest in his
screaming, no
house, bro.
nothing.
Bro. It's been
I
a
think he's
war
back
zone
now.
these past few days, man.
Oh my goodness. All right. But yeah, overall, like I said, I think it is impossible to rank him. I think we need to see
Yeah.
more for now. Overall, though, I mean, just as accomplishments, just looking at accomplishments already, he's probably what, top 20, 25 maybe, just on accomplishments. But yeah, longevity I rate highly, so we just got to see more on that one. But speaking of longevity, can Vitality have the longevity? What do we think? Can they continue their domination into Gamers8 and then, more importantly, next season?
Into Gamers8. Yeah, I think
Definitely
Zen-
Gamers8, I think.
like Zen is one of the best, if not the best. I think maybe Rawas is like his biggest competitor when it comes to ones.
Yeah.
And even then, like you got the 3v3 aspect. In Gamers8, you can win purely off threes. Like you don't
Right.
need ones or twos.
Yeah,
Like, you
true.
can just play all threes and just win. I think Vitality is gonna go into Gamers8 and they might just dominate the competition again. So
Yeah.
just knowing that all the other teams that are there, some teams might just be they made it and then there's players that help them get there that won't be there. But I think they're the strongest 3v3 team there, which is gonna be a huge impact for them. And they also have a dominant ones player and then Alpha and Zen running twos. It's just hard to beat that team, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I nothing more to say about that. I think like they're the favorites for Gamers8 for sure. They could easily dominate it. Would not be surprised at all if they just like 4-0 everyone, you know.
What do you guys think about next season? Next season, you think they're this dominant still, or you think finally people are figuring it out at least a little? I would hope.
Yeah, that's a good question because like the more you play against people, like the better you're gonna slowly get against them. But like they're also gonna keep improving. Yeah, I feel like next season the skill gap is gonna be closer. I think it's definitely gonna be closer. And during the first split, I think Vitality they're not gonna win all three regionals. That's my take.
You said they're not gonna win all 3 regionals?
Yeah.
I think it'll take longer than that for them to start losing. I think at the very beginning, they're gonna be chilling. I think still, like, well, once teams are figuring stuff out, still, I have a hard time seeing Vitality being, like, really, really dethroned. I don't know. There might be a few teams that come close, but I don't know.
Oh wait, are we
into-
saying if
later in
if it starts in like September or if it starts in like January? I'm saying January, like
That's
if
a
it
fair
starts like
point, actually. I guess
if the new season starts later.
I was thinking later personally.
If it starts
Yeah.
later, then I could see a world. Well,
Man.
we heard
a
Zen's
lot.
interview where he said, "Win or lose, he's just gonna get back on the
Mm.
game and start grinding
Oh.
again."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's an aspect towards like it's maybe not Zen anymore that we need to worry about. Maybe it's Alpha and Redosin that we need to worry about whether they're gonna get complacent or not. Because we heard Zen, he's obviously gonna continue grinding, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the other two are gonna grind nearly as hard as they did, knowing that they had this perfect opportunity to win a world championship. Maybe Alpha and Redosin. I could see Redosin being a player who's like, yeah, I want to continue winning. Like he seems like he has that extreme passion, and Alpha seems like he's been passionate too, but he's a lot more reserved on his voice and his opinions, and like he's kind of a mystery. Like we don't know what Alpha is kind of thinking all the time. He's just like, I just do my job, and I'm just gonna continue. So it's kind of it's a weird dynamic, and there's a lot of time between this season and next season. I guess it depends really on the rosters that we kind of see. I don't really see anybody taking them down though. Like looking at them right now.
Mhm.
I'd agree.
Yeah, that's
I would
fair.
agree.
Yeah.
Unless we get extra like FIFA 54 out here, but I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, unless another FIFA game comes out.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those.
True.
Oh no. No, I think Alpha's on top. I think he wants to stay on top now. I don't think he's going to FIFA anytime soon. I don't think that's gonna be his game. Well, I think unless anyone else has something to say about Vitality, we can move along.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll say like I give one question for all you guys. I guess like a quick fire question. Like if you had to pick one team that was the most disappointing for you guys at Worlds, who would you pick? Like Jagentek, who would you pick first?
Most disappointing. Let me look at this bracket really quick. Let me tell you. Let me talk to you. Had to have been. There's two that come to my mind right away. I would say one. Most definitely being actually Oxygen. I felt like we were gonna at least see him get out of like I don't know. I thought we'd see him get out of the Swiss.
Yeah.
I expected that at least. So yeah, Oxygen I gotta throw in there, and then probably see. I kind of want to say Rule 1, but at the same time, like I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say Rule 1. I'm gonna say Rule 1. I don't know. I think they still were. They still should have been better than they were. Like realistically, they lost to what G2 and SSG. And G2 and SSG look good, but I still think Rule 1 we should have seen more from them.
Okay, fair. Money, what about you?
Dude, Jagentek took my first one, bro. Oxygen, man, going 1-3 in the Swiss, bro. That's my answer. That's all I gotta say, dude.
Okay.
Those are like the
Bro.
clear-cut options. I think they really did have disappointing performances. For me, it's gonna have to be. It's tough. I think it's a toss-up between Complexity and Moist. And the reason why Complexity is disappointing is because they can't get over that Game 7. They are the best team in North America, I think, at this land. Well, at this land, they were the closest to beating an EU team from North America. So, by Astro's terms, they were the best North America team there. But I think on the other side, Moist, it's just seeing how good Juicy and Joyo were playing. Joyo, I think, was exceptional, top 10 level, and I always thought the question mark for this team would be Juicy. It ended up being Cash, and Cash was not playing as well as I expected Cash to play. I thought Juicy would kind of be the guy who was struggling a little bit, but the French never disappoint when it comes to lanes, and Juicy was absolutely insane. So Moist was disappointing for me.
That's fair. Did you expect it to make top 8 then? Was that what you would?
Yeah, I did expect them to make top 8.
Interesting. Understandable.
Fair. For me, it might be it might be a hot take. I'm gonna say Limitless. Like for me, like they swept Valiant, but like otherwise, I felt like they just weren't really competitive at all against. They played like what G2 Pioneers Power. I thought they could take a game at least off like a Pioneers, for example. Like even Elevate beat Pioneers, but Limitless couldn't even get a game off of them. I felt like I expected a little bit more out of them. I feel like they kind of proved that SSA is just levels below everyone else right now, like not even close to APAC, maybe even. So I'm hoping for the regain from them, but I expected more.
That's a fair shout, I guess. Fair enough, yeah. I feel like we should have seen them take at least a game off Pioneers because I thought Pioneers looked real bad.
Pioneers was abysmal.
Very
Yeah.
gross. And then Bob, did you also ask which team overachieved?
Ooh, yeah. I guess just real quick, if you had to pick one team, everyone, just like what team overachieved? Like what team did better than you expected?
Oh, well, for me, it's immediately got to be Twisted Minds because I didn't even have them getting it out of a wild card. So they definitely proved me wrong there. And yeah,
Insane.
it's got to be
That's
Twisted
an
Minds. for me.
insane take. Not having them out of wild card.
Well, the problem was, like, I didn't watch the gameplay. I didn't see them play, bro.
Okay.
Bro,
I kept saying,
came
yeah,
on
I'm going to
this
check it
show.
out.
We
I'm
came
gonna
on this show like 3 weeks in a row talking about them. Me and Bop were hyping them up. Money was like, yeah, I still didn't get to watch them. I'll watch them next week. Then we come back next week. Yeah, I still didn't watch them. I'll watch them next week. He was, I don't know. This guy, he just didn't believe in him. I don't know. He wasn't a fan.
It's constant.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Overachieving, though, I would say... Like, I think me and Raul kind of already said it. SSG, G2, I think they probably overachieved for the standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think G2 is the biggest shout here, but I also think Falcons is another name you could shout out.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't know what to expect from them, but they looked really good. Like they looked really good.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Good shouts.
That's fair. I might even say like it might be crazy. I might say G1 even. I felt like G1 did better than I even expected. Like I thought they
There's
would be
no-
atrocious.
I could see
I thought they would
that,
go like 0-3 maybe. But then they actually like beat Oxygen. That wasn't even that close. And they actually almost beat Moist as well, which was wild. Like towards the end, like
My man
Oli was
shouted
like
G1.
up enough.
Did you expect them to go 0-3?
I was expecting at least 1-3, maybe even 0-3. But like
Guess
they
you
actually
expect them
did
to lose to
okay.
like SSA.
I thought they might lose to like Gladiator. They're putting Gladiators in third round. I thought they might lose there, but then they swept Gladiators. They beat Oxygen and had a good series against Moist. So they did better than I expected, honestly.
Yeah. One other, actually, now that I'm looking about this, I actually completely forgot about this team, if I'm being real with you. One other team I just kind of want to shout, they kind of overachieved for what I would have expected, is Crew. I actually thought Crew looked pretty good for the most part. I mean, their only losses were, what, Liquid and Falcons, I think? And then one in the wild card, which I'm not looking at wild card. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
it was
thought
also
I thought they looked
Falcons.
solid. Oh, there you go. But yeah, no, I thought they looked pretty decent for the most part, other than, well, losing to two top 8 teams. So, and all their games were pretty close as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, just give them a shout real quick there. But I think we have covered everything on Worlds, other than the most important question I have here: was this the best crowd of all time?
I think it's so tough, but I think we have to give it to them simply due to the fact that there was the blue wall and then you had mascots in the crowd. They brought drums.
Yeah, I saw
like
that.
it was actually like a soccer or for the rest of the world a football event. Like
Yeah.
the fans
Yep.
went all out, and
Someone
I mean,
had
that's
the
a
air
testament
horn.
to
Oh my
the
God.
The air horn
European
was
fans over
annoying.
there.
Yeah. The air horn was annoying though.
Bro, they need to make
The air-
they should
the
have
air
banned
horns
those
was
things.
annoying. That was
they gotta get
annoying.
rid of them. Oh my god. Yeah, we need to ban
Bro,
them.
I was-
mascots. They had mascots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
crazy.
nah, bro, that's different. Like, you bring in mascots, all right, you got it.
Money Bob, what did you guys think?
Thanks.
Best crowd? Yes.
At the very lowest, I'd give it top 2. The only one competing was London a couple years ago, or last year. Yeah, when Moist won, whenever that was. That crowd was really good too. But yeah, at the very least, top 2, and maybe best crowd.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was
Bob?
really-
Yeah. I think it's pretty fair to say EU crowds are just better than NA crowds by like a
Definitely,
decent margin. Like Boston was a pretty good crowd, especially like the last series, Vitality, BDS. Like it was a good crowd. But EU crowds are just different. Like the way they like go together, like you're saying, it's the football culture that they have. Like the KC fans versus the Vitality fans. Like it was incredible. Different level.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this was definitely because when you look at, I mean, the statistics themselves, I think say enough. Because last year at what was it, Dallas? That was where Worlds was last year. Yes, I think so. Like half the matches, the entire like half of the stadium looked empty. Like the seats were like half empty, and at this crowd in this arena, it held, I want to say, even 500 more fans than the one in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. I think it had 14,000 people in this one, and this thing was bussing the entire time. It had basically all the seats full. It looked like. So yeah, definitely the best crowd. Shout out EU
But
crowds.
would it have been like that if it was like an NA top 4, for example?
I
Like,
think it
would
would
they
have.
so.
still have done that?
Really? I feel like it wouldn't have been as loud. Like you wouldn't have had like people going crazy, but I feel like people would have stick around just to watch because it's Worlds. I mean, I don't know.
I think the blue wall would have left.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they would.
They did. They did.
Yeah, the blue wall would have left. If there was an NA top 4, the blue wall's not showing up. 100%.
Yeah, the air horn's not showing up. That's for sure.
That's good. We gotta make that air horn shut off. Gotta fix that next season. Oh my. Alrighty. We got through Worlds. Well done. Claps in the chat, guys. Gamers8. Let's talk about it. It's coming up. What, next week?
Alrighty.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep, next week.
I have a
Yeah.
quick fire
Yep.
question to start us off here. Roll. Will Furia go back to back?
No.
Damn.
I had to get that one. I had to get it.
Fire question, fire answer,
Yeah.
no.
Bob, what do you think?
Nah.
Money, what do you think?
No.
Yeah, dude, they're not getting it, bro. There's
Yeah,
too
they're not
many
getting
good
it. All right,
teams.
next question. Let's talk about other teams that might have a bit more of a chance. Actually, it might have a bit more of a chance, but they're not even there, actually. Some teams are actually not there that I think have a pretty, or would have had a pretty decent chance at doing decent in this format. I'm curious, how do we feel about it? Yeah, you had Cole, you had SSG, and also Crew that all are not there. How do we feel about that one?
Interesting. I think Cole would have been pretty good. I think CRR, he made the finals last time, right? Against Furia, I think. He was
I
on
think
Guild.
so. Yeah.
The CR
I
was
think-
crazy in this event.
Yeah, he was insane last time. And I think him and Razebull, they're both really good at ones. And then AJG, that would have been a good team. They could have been like a top 8 team for sure, this Gamers8. So, unfortunately, they're not there.
Yeah, facts. And they were so close to qualifying as well. I forgot that they competed in this qualifier, losing to version 1 and Koi, which knocked them out of qualifying.
Yeah, the ball
Yeah,
lost
He
to
lose to
Cosmic.
Yeah, Cosmic. Yeah, it was actually not even there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. We'll talk
Bruh.
about that a little bit later. Oh god.
I think SSG could perform at Gamers8 too if they went there. I think just knowing how Arsenal plays into is very annoying. And I know Hoxer didn't even I think he started grinding the game mode before he joined SSG a lot more. And he's always annoying in twos. He's always been a good twos player because he's like super fast. And LJ's like a top 5 twos player in North America, so like that kid's always grinding twos. And then even their performance in threes, like they could have been a pretty good
Yeah.
force in this bracket.
I'm curious on that team.
Yeah.
I don't know who would be the ones player on that team in SSG if they actually made it.
It'd be tough. I don't know if Arsenal's been grinding ones.
Yeah.
I think they'd probably give it to LJ and just see if he could do something with it. Maybe even give it to Hawk. But I don't think they would give it to Hawk. I don't think Hawkser. I mean, Hawkser said he was grinding ones now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
they'd actually give it to Hawkser.
That is facts. That is facts. All right, Raul. We'll touch on your subject now. How do we feel now that the dust is settled and Koi are there and Cosmic is not there? What's going on with this? Talk to me about this.
Oh man.
Well,
Can I say
first
something?
of all, yeah, go for it.
Okay. I mean, if we look at the qualifier, right? We look at the qualifier, how Koi got there. Cosmic, he played good. He got them a couple wins. He did good. But Koi actually like performed in the threes aspect as well. I think they beat Optic one game in threes. They beat Complexity one game in threes. And I think like they beat Axel as well. But like, yeah, that was fine. They lost to G2 like a couple of times. But they also took a game off G2 in threes, I think, as well, if I
Yeah,
remember
they did.
correctly. Yeah, so like I think there's a chance they could perform. If you look at their bracket though, it's kind of unlucky. I think they're in the same bracket with like Rule 1, V1.
Yeah.
Let me check.
They got
Yeah, Rule
Secret,
even
Suh.
even Secret first round with like KV1 and ones.
Oh,
Like,
and
it's gonna be
Liquid. They
tough.
got Liquid too.
Yeah, Liquid as well. Yeah, they have a tough group.
Yeah,
Tough
it's gonna
group.
be a tough one.
I think
yeah.
there's a chance they could beat like a team Like in threes and twos, I think they could compete with the highest levels. And ones they'll probably lose. I heard Cheese is like grinding a little bit. Cheese and Sosa, they're playing some ones to prepare. But yeah, it'll be tough overall. I still got faith in them though. They're my favorite team. I think they could sneak into a top 8 at the best. Like you never know. They can get a crazy upset. They beat V1 in RLCS. You know, they could do something crazy. But top eight's probably like their peak if they make it there.
Money?
Yeah, but
That
I
thing-
kind of
Go
I
ahead.
kind of want to argue your point here because like I definitely agree like Cosmic like he had a big impact when he was on the pitch, but I think he also had a big impact when he was not playing because like just knowing that you have like an all-star like 1v1 player on the team, it might put a bit extra pressure on some of these teams, the complexity, the optic. Dude, AJ Loki seemed like he was getting tilted a little bit in that series. He was kind of struggling.
It
But
looked like Ray's
I-
worst series I think I've ever seen him play as well, so I just want to throw that out there too.
yeah, I feel like just like having that all-star like on the bench, like it's low-key in the back of your mind, like, oh, we need to win this 3v3 because we might not win the 1v1. So I think that's an underrated aspect of having like a really good talented 1v1 player on your roster.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I think having that 1v1 player it is added pressure. You don't want the series to kind of swing in another team's favor just because of the 1v1s. And you know that there's always a player that's like you don't want to be that guy to lose the series for your team pretty much or put your team in a rough spot because you're losing a 1v1. And even the twos is kind of like a all right, we're kind of in this together, but once you're on an island, like you have to win that matchup, or it's just like, all right, well, now we're forced to win another game.
Right. Yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I'll add to that. I do agree. I think it's definitely like the pressure really almost it eccentricates on top of you as you go through the series, and you're like, well, we just lost that 1v1 that we probably should be losing if you know it wasn't a 1v1 or if it wasn't obviously the Gamers8 format, and then it makes you play worse in the other modes as well. I feel like just really you have it. It's always gonna be in the back of your mind, and then also the fact that just they could be thinking, you know, this player isn't even a part of the team. Like, not necessarily a part of the team. You're just like they just bring this guy in just to win this certain mode, obviously. And I mean that really is what they did. I mean, you know.
I want to talk about the formatting a little bit because they had the same problem last year. Like they allow 4 people to compete in the qualifier, but then going to LAN, it's like, oh, you can only bring 3 players. So I don't know why even allow the 4th player to compete for the qualifier.
Yeah, how does that make sense in a competitive environment at all? Like, like how does that make sense? Like, there's no explanation behind that. I feel like at all. Like, there's just like no sense behind it whatsoever. I don't get it. Like, either have them there or just don't let them play. Like, it's you should have the best team at the format there, and that's not having the best team at the format there. I would say.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
It's weird. It's weird. I'd love for someone at Gamers8 to explain that one because I don't think they can, honestly.
Facts. I assume that they fixed it like this year. I'm like, oh, it's not gonna happen to. I think it happened to Flitz last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was Flitz.
Yeah, it was Chronic, right? Chronic played there
Oh
once.
yeah, I think you're right. It was Chronic.
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this year when it happened, I was like, oh, nice. They fixed it, and then they just did not switch the rules. So
Yeah.
very unfortunate for Cosmic.
Originally, when Cosmic was playing to him, I feel like everyone was just saying, "Oh yeah, he'll be able to play at Gamers8 this year." Like I thought they fixed that part of it, and then they just came up randomly, and they're like, "Nah, you're not gonna have another player." So it's like, okay, why then? Oh my, but yeah, I don't know. That's tilted to me. That's one of the most tilting things they could do. Like it makes zero sense to me. But anyways, we'll move along from that. Hopefully they fix it next year. If they don't, I'll just be tilted again. We'll be here talking about this exact same thing next year. Yeah, that's crazy. But let's talk about a little bit of the minor regions at Gamers8. Do we see? Yeah, do we see any surprises from any of these minor region teams? Possibly any upsets?
Okay. Like minor region, anything that's not NAEU.
I would say so in this
What
format.
regions are we
No,
talking
actually,
about?
probably not MENA. I'd say the major regions in this format are
okay.
MENA, EU, and NA, right?
Okay.
There's Furia. I mean, Furia's gonna be interesting as well. Are they NA, Sam? I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah,
But-
technically
don't
NA
even
still.
know.
I think.
Yeah.
Alright. Let me list off some teams here. So we've got Ninjas in Pajamas, we've got Team Secret there, we've got Ground Zero, Pioneers, Elevates there, same with Gaming Gladiators, Limitless, and yep, that's it. So those are the minor region teams here.
Yeah.
So who do you guys have doing the best out of those teams?
I'd say ninjas in pajamas.
NIP? Okay.
Maybe secret.
I was gonna say
Yeah, I
secret,
could see
yeah.
Yeah, secret over that.
KV1's a
Okay.
ones demon.
Yeah, does NIP have a ones player? Astromic Bems Mada.
I think Astromix is gonna be the
Yeah.
ones for that
Is it?
team.
Okay.
I don't know if any of them are crazy strong in ones though, so that could hinder them. But
Yeah.
I don't know. And threes, I don't think their threes are that great. Twos might be pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. That's a questionable one there.
Okay. Well, my choice for best team, best minor region team at this tournament, it's Gaming Gladiators. It's Flitz, bro. It's Flitz. Greatness. Greatness is incoming.
Okay, so I'm
Is
curious.
Flitz even gonna play the ones?
Is it OSM or Flips?
I thought OSM was gonna play the ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta be OSM, right?
Okay, I don't know if he plays ones or not. I'm not deep into it. I thought Flitz played ones, bro. I thought Flitz played ones.
I mean, he does.
He does,
But I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
I don't. Maybe OSM might not. I don't know. Maybe they'll 1v1 each other and see how they're looking.
Maybe.
Do you think so? Money? You think Gladiators can surprise? But I'm looking at this group. Who do you realistically
me look
think
at the
that
group.
they can beat?
let's
Here?
see
They
what's
got
happening
Optic
here.
first round. Then they got G2 if they
Okay.
somehow beat Optic.
Okay,
I
that's
don't know.
looking like a tough one.
I think they could beat G2. I can't lie,
They could surprise.
but I don't think they could beat
I think
Optic.
I don't know. I
yeah.
think G2 just
Yeah.
has the threes on lock. Like I think it's freeload because they just
That's.
got
I
threes
mean,
on
that's
lock.
true. Yeah.
Like there's no way they're losing. Maybe one game magically, but there's no way they get more than that.
Yeah, the
against
threes is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I think it's secret. I think they have the right pieces to that one. Over all the others.
I like how Money is like gaming gladiators, sees who they play, and he's like, all right, never mind, never mind.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this bracket's gonna work if they lose round one. They might be playing
They
Oxygen.
play the-
Oxygen fell off, bro. It's over for
Yeah.
Oxygen. Gaming Gladiators.
Nah, I mean Joria should be fine. And ones, Joria's Archie, twos, I think they'll be fine.
I mean,
I think that's
Oxygen
like a
shaking.
Oxygen plays ground zero. They should beat ground zero. That's no disrespect, but that's got to be an
Yeah.
Oxygen victory there. I think.
But then they'll play. Yeah, no, but then they'll play. No, they won't even play until the semis of the lower bracket
Yeah.
if they lose to Optic.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun
Yeah,
one.
wait,
Oh
what?
yeah, loser of upper semi-final. What is this? Hold. What is going on? Nah, I'm confused.
I think Gladiators would play the loser of Vitality Oxygen if Oxygen
Yeah.
beats Ground Zero, right? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
so it'd be a Gladiators Oxygen match probably down there. I think Oxygen still win that. So.
Yeah, I think Oxygen win.
Yeah, they gotta
Yeah.
have that one.
I don't know, just
Oh.
Archie and Jurius with the space that they're gonna have in twos
Oh my god.
and threes. I don't see Gladiators being like too dominant. So
No, I think
Yeah.
Gladiators might be like the third best minor region team here. I feel like maybe fourth. I don't know. I think Secret are probably better than them. I'd probably say Ninja and Pajamas probably better. Elevate maybe even better. I don't know.
Elevate
Maybe.
probably better, yeah.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
would still say Elevate, yeah.
I don't know. That's a tricky one. but
Elevate's
Yeah.
tough. I don't
They
know about
are.
Elevate.
They're a hard
I don't know
one
who's
to
gonna play
predict, bro.
ones,
Yeah.
but-
I think Vert might be the one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that might
okay.
be- that might
He'll
a
just
loss.
be a demo lord.
That'll
Imagine.
be fun.
I hope, bro. I really do hope we do see one of these like minor region teams actually do well. I don't know if we will, just looking at these brackets, but it would be quite a run if they somehow pulled it off. Because you're not used to seeing that, but I think some might have a small chance at least. And since there are other modes, if they can take the threes, that's really the thing I feel like at Gamers8, right? Like if you can take the threes, you got a chance sometimes. So it
Yeah,
is what it
facts.
is. But yeah, no.
Who do you think is the best team for each mode, like for 3v3? Let's start there.
Best team for each mode.
I mean,
Vitality,
Vitality might just be
yeah,
the best in all
Vitality.
three.
I don't know if I agree with it. I don't think two's Vitality probably are they? I don't feel like they actually
Who's
would
better
be.
in twos? Who's better twos?
I mean, what Lost and Yin are pretty demonic in twos, are they not? I feel like
Maybe.
those
Yeah.
two are pretty disgusting.
Beast Mode
Liquid's kind of
Daniel.
nasty
Yeah.
with the Chronic and Natal,
Yeah.
or any iteration they want to run. Honestly,
Yeah.
Facts, they could mix it up.
BDS and twos have got to be pretty solid as well, I would assume.
yeah, Monkey Moon
Mm.
and Seiko or Monkey Moon and Rise.
Yeah.
I think either or is good.
Row 1
Yeah.
and version 1, very good as well.
Yeah.
Maybe even Falcon.
Okay,
It's so tough. The twos is like
Yeah, twos will be so fun to watch, bro.
yeah, twos is gonna be fun to watch.
I think
Yeah.
three's
Even
most
Faze,
definitely
I mean-
Vitality, but then twos, I think you got like 6 teams maybe that all really could be the best team. If you had
I
to
think
pick one,
Carmine's kind of weak in twos.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think ones they'll be fine. Vatira's pretty good ones player, and threes they'll be fine. But twos is their weakest game mode.
Yeah, I agree it's their weakest, but I think they'll be fine in twos. Probably Vatira Exotic or Vatira
Yeah.
Touch. I think they got the chemistry to do it.
Man, I'm just looking at this. Faze versus Carmine in the upper semis probably. Faze should be Pioneers. If they don't, it's time to blow up the roster then and there.
Listen to Pioneers.
Send them home if they don't beat
Yeah, they're
Pioneers.
done, bro. Oh, that's great. But yeah, I would say
Yo.
if you guys had to pick one team for twos, who would you pick? I know it's up in there, but if you did have to pick one, who would it be?
I guess V1.
I
Beast Mode
still-
Daniel.
I
That's
still
the
rock
Yeah,
with
that's
Furia, to
everyone.
be honest. Give me Furia. I think that
Dude, I don't even know. There's so many good teams.
If
here.
I'm not picking V1, I'll pick Liquid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
a
fair.
good one. All right.
Okay, I'll pick a different team. I'll go with Rule 1.
Yeah, I think
Ross
those
and
are
Colliers.
all fair
The
shouts.
Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about in ones? Who do we think has the ones? It's obviously Vitality again. Rule 1, probably the top 2. Right?
Zen or Rawaz. Yeah.
I think Dan
And
can beat either
Daniel.
of those. Yeah, I was gonna point out maybe Dan. I don't know. I know TRK's
Wait,
been saying he
for
wants to grind
V1?
ones, but we're just overall
Hmm?
the best
For
ones players
1v1s.
here. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you think it's Dan? You think Dan's the best ones player here?
No, we said third.
He's like top 3. I think
Oh,
he's top
third.
3.
Yeah, we said Zen, then we said Ruas, and then maybe Dan.
So yeah, number 4. I'm pretty sure he said he was grinding 1v1. It's Team Koi. It's Sosa. Sosa representing Canada. He's been grinding ones. I think he might be a top 10 performer in the 1v1 category.
Oh,
Top 10? I mean,
Top 10 performer.
my.
So,
Top 10.
Yeah, I'm giving him
Top that.
top
Wait,
10,
how
bro.
many teams are here, bro?
16, I think.
Yeah,
There's
Top
at least like
16.
there's at least like 70 teams.
Oh, okay, 24. There's 24 teams, but still, either way, that's so crazy. Because you call out your ones players. You got Jorios out there. You got Zen. You have AJ. Even Atomic when he plays ones is actually very good as well. Then you have OSM, right?
Yeah,
You
true.
have OSM.
You got Raziers as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure who Twisted Mind's ones player would be. Would it be SMW? Would it be Venom? I don't know.
Give it Venom or
idea.
SMW.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And then we haven't even said Atau yet. Atau's up there.
Oh, Monkey Moon.
True.
Don't forget Monkey Moon.
True.
Play it as well.
We got some
Monkey Moon
gamers.
plays ones.
He back in the day.
I don't know
he
if
was
he still
good. I don't
does.
think
He
he
was
does.
really
good
good.
grinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, PS4 grinders. He used to be on the top of the leaderboard, played Johnny Boy show matches on PS4.
But yeah, no, there's
Is
a
Monkey?
lot of good ones.
How good is Monkey at ones, bro? I don't think
was really
Monkey is
good.
gonna be like a.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy
now I don't
ones,
You
know.
don't think so?
Now I don't know.
I feel like back in the
Nah.
day he used to grind ones. I don't think he does anymore though. I don't think he does anymore, but I feel like back then he used to. Did he not? I swear. I
Yeah,
used to
even
look
like
and
a
see
year
him
ago,
all the
like
time.
just under a year ago, when he was with Extra on the roster and Mark by 8 on the team, like he was grinding ones then as well.
I thought so.
so-
Yeah. I think he's very solid. He's not Zen or Ross level, but he might be like AJ-ish level possibly.
I wonder how he
don't know.
plays that then. Like, I wonder how he plays the ones. I'm gonna be excited to see him play ones.
I would
Yeah.
assume he
It's
would
gonna be like maybe he's like dominating the ground. He just never jumps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's how it is. Yeah.
I mean, I did see what Rise I think was in the whatever tournament Fear just hosted as well. So you never know. Rise might be grinding some ones right now too. I'm not sure, but yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of good
Rise.
ones players here. I don't think you can really say honestly what roster has the best one. I think it's definitely probably
Yeah.
between Rule 1 and Vitality still, right? But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It can switch up
Oh yeah,
depending on the day and stuff.
Yeah,
Tao's
Atao beat
been grinding too.
Khalid and Jack. And then Yan 3-0 swept Jorius, and the games were not even close. It was like 9-5, 8-1.
Yeah.
And then,
Yep.
yeah, Rawaz won it all, though. So Rawaz is probably still number one, I'd say.
Who the hell is on Suh? I actually just realized this team was here. Wait, who's this team again?
Wait, let's see who they
it's
beat out to
Mike,
qualify.
Though, and Hibbs. Okay. They're not horrible. They might not
Those good
fare
at
great in
ones.
this, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, those decent at ones, but I don't expect much from them. I think Monkeys have a decent chance. Like, I think Monkeys could actually be good. Like, Razier's is actually
really
insane
good.
at ones.
True.
I would agree. Definitely do agree. Now, speaking, we were just talking about a little bit of BDS. Let's talk about BDS one more time, actually. How do we feel about how BDS got here? They literally just, Gamers8, they saw them make the finals of the World Championship. They're like, yeah, throw them in. We had one spot reserved, put them in. They didn't qualify before, so now they're here. So, how do we feel about that?
Yeah, I'm happy they're
Yeah. I like it. I think they deserve it. I mean, they didn't do good in the qualifier, I think. I think they lost to, like, Sa and German Amigos. But I think they still deserve it, I think.
I think it's okay. It just brings more eyes to the event.
Yeah.
And you have top teams regardless of if they're good at the game modes or not. Like there could be stronger players in certain game modes, but
Right.
it's always good to see like the top teams at these events.
I think it's good that you have them there, but I think how they made it is horrible. Like, I think since they didn't qualify before, I think they should have had... I mean, all these top teams, like, you had SSG, you had Crew, you had Complexity, you had BDS, all at the World Championship, so why not just have, like, a little spin-off tournament there? They're all in the same ping. They're all there. And it would just add extra, like, competition to it, I feel like. Like, why not take a day to have, like, a small little tiny bracket there to qualify for that last spot? Because realistically, I mean, they qualified by just being good at threes, and they couldn't qualify in the other format that they were given. So I feel like that's not necessarily fair to a team like Complexity, just because, I mean, sure, they did good at Worlds, but that Worlds is not Gamers8. But I don't know. I'm happy they're there, but I just wish other teams had a chance to qualify as well with that format.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely a bit of a questionable way to qualify for a team. I mean, it probably would have been too much to actually like organize a tournament, too much for the people and whoever organizes the stuff in the back.
Yeah.
But like I definitely agree that like there's already invited teams. Like just invite BDS if you want them there, bro.
Exactly.
They got swept. They got swept and then they lost again. They went 0-2 in qualifying. You're like, you know what? You guys tried participation trophy. We'd love to have you at our events. And then they still got them in.
Yeah. I mean, the real question on me, right? It's like, if it had been, say BDS and SSG made top 4 at Worlds, what do they do? like, what are they doing then? Because, like, it's like they just were like, yeah, we'll just pull something out. We'll just invite them. Why not? Like, I don't even know if they had that planned in advance or if they were just like, yeah, I guess we'll just choose whatever team we think looks decent at Worlds. Like, I don't know. It was weird to me, but I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy they're there. They'll make the event much better. And they've obviously improved a lot since that qualifier, so that's also just another point.
You brought that up. I didn't even recognize or realize that they didn't make it through the quals.
Yeah,
so now I'm looking at it and they actually shouldn't be there.
I know,
they just shouldn't be there. now I recant my entire argument against. I'm like, it's good that they have like they're gonna bring eyes, but like they just should not be there.
How does that make sense? Bro, a lot of this
I guess
stuff
they just took the best performing team. Is that what you like?
I mean,
that's their idea. They took the best performing team.
I guess so. I don't think anyone knew that was happening even. BDS probably didn't even know that was happening. They probably just got the call after Worlds that like, Gamers8? Oh yeah, we'll go. Sure, why not? We'll go beat them. Yeah, sure. We'll go compete for 500 grand. But moving away from BDS and looking back at the groups a tiny bit here. This is that order. All good. What group do you guys think is the easiest to get out of here? I'm interested. If you don't have the bracket up, by the way, I'll put it in the chat real quick. There you go.
Easiest to get out of? I think it's Group B.
Easily. Yeah, I'd say easily. I agree with you. Yep.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking
I,
at it.
yeah, I just think there's tougher teams in the other groups that are like they're strong other game mode players than 3v3s. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be tough regardless because only two teams can make it out, and I think there's a strong
Hmm.
case that I mean maybe Twisted Minds can compete with the Gen G, but
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
then that's tough. But I think given the other game modes taken into account, I think Group B has the best chance to kind of it's like easily getting out.
I feel like it's gotta
Out
be
there.
Yeah.
BDS and Gen G in that. Like, I don't know, Monkeys. Like, Monkeys have an outside shot. Same with Twisted Minds, but I have a hard time seeing them beating any of these teams in threes. I mean, maybe Twisted Minds, if they go into lowers, could beat a Gen G. I could see that actually. That might not be absurdly crazy, but yeah, no, it definitely is the
Yeah.
easiest to get out of. The competition, I just don't think is there.
Yeah, some of these
Hmm.
brackets are pretty insane, dude. Like only two teams between
Yeah.
V1, Liquid, and Rule 1 can get a top 8.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Whereas in Group B, like I feel like Gen G, in my opinion, is the best team in Group B. And then the other team that makes it through, I think it could be any one of them. Like I could see BDS not making top 8. I could see Twisted Minds or something crazy.
Hmm.
We'll see.
The format change just makes it so different, right? Like it's so hard to predict sometimes because like you're in your mind, you're obviously thinking, okay, yeah, BDS is just the best team in this group. They just made the World Grand Finals, but they didn't make the World's Grand Finals by playing ones and twos. They made it by playing threes and by consistently playing threes. So yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a hard one, but yeah, definitely Group B, I think.
It's kind of funny also to mention, like obviously it was a bit ago now, but in the qualifiers, they went 0-4 in threes games as well.
Yeah.
So
I
who
think
knows? Who knows
I
what's
think
gonna
that's
happen?
probably just an ode to how bad they were at the time though and how much they've improved. I would say though, right?
True, okay.
Like
Fair,
they
fair.
probably shouldn't be losing to the teams they lost to at that time, and they probably wouldn't now. So I don't know.
Mm.
I say probably though, because you never know. On the group topic, which one do you think is the hardest to get out of?
I think it's D. D for
Gotta be
sure.
You
D.
think D? Hmm.
I even
Yeah,
think Secret is like a sleeper team, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And even though Koi might not have Cosmic,
They got
I mean they've
Sosa.
proven that they can take some games
Yeah.
off of threes. Like it's important to note that you only need one game of threes to really like swing a series.
That's a
Like
good
you
point.
can take a
Hmm.
game off of
Yeah.
somebody, and not everybody's gonna like 3-0 the threes series, like
Right.
or
Yeah.
threes games. So you
Yeah.
only need realistically one threes game to win, and then you win in the other game modes, and you can win the series off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this format, you can't really build momentum either, I feel like, which I think can definitely attribute to teams that shouldn't be taking threes games off of you, actually just taking them off of you. And also, Raul, you swayed me. I was going to say C. It's D. You got me on the Koi and Secret one. I'm with you.
What you're gonna say? C? Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
I
C is the
was
best
thinking,
shot either.
but then see, I was looking at Pioneers and Limitless, and I was like, they really dragged the group down compared to Koi and Secret, and even saw like they're I'd say I mean they're just a better team than Pioneers and Limitless in general too. So yeah,
Yeah, they are.
it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely is C or D. Sorry. Did everybody give their take on that?
Hmm. Well,
Yeah, I'm agreeing with D.
yeah.
You have to
D
look into
definitely, I think.
these.
Okay.
I think
Mhm.
if it's like for a team to actually wait, no, I can't even argue that point. I was gonna say like if it's a team like Ground Zero or Oxygen, like someone else like trying to make it out that's not like one of the top couple teams, then
Yeah.
maybe no, I can't even make that point because like Group D looks insane, bro.
It's just too hard to get out of. I don't even know how I
Yeah.
predict that one. Like looking at it, I have no idea what I'd predict just looking at it. But yeah, I'll
I'd
figure
probably
it out
just
when
pick
the
the
time comes.
safest stuff. I think the safest would be V1 and Real One. I'd probably just go with that. But
Yeah.
Liquid's definitely there. Is it like a dark horse?
I even think
Hmm.
Secret could like pull off something there. I really do. I don't know. I believe in that team. I think they have what it takes. They have the ones player. Yeah, you
Well,
got some pretty decent twos players. You got your threes. They're
hmm.
a solid enough team in threes, so they could pull it off. But yeah, I'd
Well,
agree. V1 and Rule 1
I
probably the
mean,
favorites.
I got Koi winning it all, so like we'll see how they do. I got them winning it all. So
Yeah, this guy's
Let's go.
Koi winning it all.
Let's go.
So yeah, with Koi winning it all, who is the dark horse for Gamers8? Bop, you want to tell us who's the dark horse here?
dark horse. I mean, Liquid are probably the only horse here, right? They're probably the only horse, and they're a dark horse as well. If you look at their logo, so there you go.
Really? Wait, you really you think Liquid would be a dark horse? I feel like I could see Liquid
think-
winning. I don't feel like I'd really say that would be like insane. Like it would be a surprise, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think like I would rank a few teams above them, like V1, Rule 1, Vitality.
Okay.
Might be the only ones I actually rank above them, maybe. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because I think like for them to make it out of the groups, they have to beat either probably a V1 or Rule 1, if not both. So then they have to go on like a bit of a run here. I think if they make top 8, then they have an easier run. But just to get out of groups, I think is the toughest part of this.
Okay. I see it. Money?
Dude, my dark horse is the same team I said completely underperformed at Worlds. I'm going with Oxygen. If Oxygen manage to somehow win this, that would be absolutely huge. They have the pieces that they require for it. They've got Joyous, who's insane at ones. If he's on his day, we've got Joyous plus Archie for the 2v2. Maybe even sub Ixo in there. Ixo, very solid player. And the threes is where things get questionable. So I think the threes is really what establishes them as like a dark horse pick because they've been not looking great. So
Can they lose? Do we think they could lose to Ground Zero in threes?
I have no idea. I don't want to say
I don't think so.
I
no,
don't
but
think so either.
I don't know.
I think Ground Zero could
could.
take a 1-3s game off
Bro,
them,
they
but I don't
could.
see any more than that.
Okay.
They could lose the threes, bro. I don't know.
I doubt
I'm a
it,
little
man.
scared.
I don't know. I would say I actually have two. I think Twisted Minds and like I said earlier, Secret. I think those are your dark horses. I don't exactly. The only issue is I don't know who Twisted Minds one's player is, but I don't know. I have a lot of faith in that team, and I could see them. They could come out. They play how they did at Worlds and just not get reverse swept, not have no ice, and they should be good to roll. They should be chilling. So yeah, hopefully they ice up a little bit more, but. Yeah, give me Twisted Minds and Secret.
I'd say mine is Optic. I think Optic have a dominant once player, and then I see Reddles and Magic Bear on the game all the time. Like they're clearly grinding for this Gamers8.
Okay.
And they had a huge turnaround this last split too, so I could see them doing well in threes as well.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think there's a lot of like picks for this one just in general. Like there's a lot of great ones players that could just win series. A lot of great twos teams that could just pull stuff off. Like it's really when you really start thinking about it, it's really hard to predict if you're not just like, oh yeah, this is a better threes team, right? Like I don't know. It's a tricky one for sure. Like Optic most definitely could. I don't even know. I was gonna say beat Vitality. That's not happening. Lol.
Wait, hold on. Follow the storyline for a second. Hold on. Optic, they beat Gladiators. They beat G2.
Okay.
They're getting momentum. They're playing Team Vitality. It's 2-2 series. Somehow the 1v1's game 5. Don't ask me how. It's for storyline. 1v1 game 5. Zen loads into the lobby. AJ about to click play. Reddle says, "Hold on, AJ. I got this." We haven't seen him do it at Gamers8. We haven't seen him do it at Saudi. Flashbacks of Reddle's tweet. He hops in the 1v1 against Zen and then loses.
Okay. Yeah.
Bro, there's no way you just hype that up just for Reddles to still lose.
Dude, it's Zen, bro. What do you
That's exactly. Also, I didn't even realize that the group stage was best of 5, so that could shake some things up as well. Actually,
Yeah.
best of 5.
Yeah,
compared to
upset's
best of
very
7.
possible.
That's an interesting one actually. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Very interesting. Alrighty, Money, take us home. I know you got one more question here.
Oh, yeah, I do have this one. Who is a team that's least likely to make a top 8? But if they did it, you wouldn't be super surprised. So it's kind of like a team like somewhat in the middle. Dude, I don't even know how to explain it, but
I get what you're saying.
that's my question for you guys.
I
Team
think
that won't make top 8, but wait, can you say one more time?
Yeah, basically a team that's not likely to make the playoffs, like you don't expect them to, but also like if they did, then it wouldn't be too shocking.
Looking
Okay.
at the bracket. I gotta look at this bracket here. What do we got rolling? Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Secret. I know we talked about them already, but like with V1, Liquid, and Ru1 in their bracket, they shouldn't make top 8. But if they did, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like they have that potential for sure.
That's a fair one. I think I'm gonna shout out Monkeys. I think the Monkeys, they got the pieces. I think their threes is a little bit lacking. But if they've been grinding, they got a chance in this format, especially with with the series being best of fives. I could see him taking it. Raziers, he's a fantastic player. And I think that could be the thing that could tip them over the edge. They don't have the hardest group either, I would say. I mean, I would assume BDS make it through, but I could see Monkeys beat like a Twisted Minds or a Gen G on their day. They're really going crazy.
Oh. Yeah, and for me, I'm going with Oxygen once again. I'm going Oxygen because like looking at their group, I think Vitality, Optic, G2, I think they all have great chances to beat them. But if Oxygen made a top 8, I wouldn't be too surprised about it.
Fair.
So yeah, to wrap things up, to bring it all together, let's finish off with a couple quick predictions for the end of the tournament. So I'm assuming most people have Vitality winning, but if you don't, who do you have winning? And if you have Vitality winning, who do you have second place?
Interesting. Bro, go for it. Go for it. Let us hear it.
I think the finals is gonna be what everybody wants to see. An NA versus EU finals where we get the comeback of the season. Faze? No, I'm kidding. V1 and Vitality.
Yeah.
V1 versus Vitality, that Dan Beast Mode combo. Faze is not like stop. That's not even in the limelight. Okay, V1 versus Vitality in the finals. I think everybody wants to see this Dan Beast Mode combo in twos. We've seen it over and over again. Dominate. We already know what they can do, but just to see them go up against the world champions. We missed them at Worlds. A lot of people saying they're the best chance in NA to take over or to win, even though they can't even win domestically. They can beat EU teams, and I'm just excited to see if they can perform in this format. I know they will perform in the format.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably. I have another team that I'd like to point out. They're in Saudi. It's Gamers8. You got the fans, the audience behind them.
Yeah.
Rule 1, they're making it to the finals, along with Vitality. And they're taking down Vitality. Ruas, he's had Zen's number in ones. He's pulling it off here. It's happening. The crowd, I think it's enough. I think they can do it as long as they can take off at least one threes game, and I think they can. I think they've played them once before. They couldn't do it. It was a close match, but they got that. They got the home field advantage here. I think they have a shout. I think they have a chance.
Okay. I think for me, you guys picked some good ones already. V1 Vitality, Rule 1 Vitality. I think I'm gonna take those two, combine it together. Give me a Rule 1 V1 final.
Oh my.
I think that could be fun. No Vitality in the final.
fun.
I think they get upset in like the semis or something to like a V1 to a Rule 1. And then we see, Daniel versus Rawaz right there in the final. Beast Mode Daniel, Rawaz Killers. We see, honestly, the 2s and 3s is gonna be fun. The 1s, incredible match right there. I think I would give Rule 1 the win there. Barely. They got the Saudi crowd right there, home advantage, but like that's a close match. That's a fun match right there.
That's a good one, yeah. I think, man, that would really be interesting if we didn't have an EU team in the final here. That would just be quite a topper to the season. It really would. That'd be quite entertaining.
We needed this format to take them down.
Yeah, you gotta show all the range. They don't got the range. You heard it here first. EU, you're done. It's over. NA's on top in this format.
The crowd better be chanting, "Where is EU, bro?" They better be chanting that if it happens.
I agree. That'd just be quite something to see. You know what else is quite something to see? The fact that we wrapped up all of our topics and we got a great show there. What a great time it was. Does anyone have any closing thoughts before we skedaddle out of here for the day?
Well, it's been a good show. It's been a great show. It's been a phenomenal show. Thank you everyone for coming out. Roldis, thank you for being here. Roldis, plug your stuff. Thank you for being here, bro.
Thank you for having me. Roldis on all platforms, every single one. I think that's
Mm.
it's like one of the most unique names I guess I ever came up with. Well, I didn't even come up with it, but that's a long story that I'm not gonna get into. Shout out, rest in peace to the dead wasp in Money Go's room, and thank y'all for having me.
Man, thank you, Ro. Thank you for coming out, Bop. Yet again, thanks for being here,
Man.
Money. Thanks for being here, chat. Thanks for listening to us yap the entire day. And that's gonna do it for us. Everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see ya when we see ya. Adios.